Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to deviate from the program just ever so slightly, just so that we can really have an opportunity to hear from the man who is really here for all of us. And I know all of you, for all of you in the other room, let me just tell you that you are just as important. We're so happy that you're here. Give me a hello over there for Bill Pascrell. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we're waiting for, the man who's really going to make a difference, the person who's really going to work to make sure that he continues representing all of us here in Passaic County, Bergen County, and Hudson County. Our man, our friend, our Congressman, Bill Pascrell.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Buenas noches. Mis amigos. See, every time I start, somebody has to correct me. This is a beautiful language. Gracias. Please listen. Yo necesito su apoyo.
Got it.
Y su voto. Junio 5, día de primaria. That wasn't good. Primaria. Si se puede. Our beautiful senator was right. I have to catch a train tonight. We have a really early budget meeting tomorrow. And the people that we should be fighting against are trying to hurt us, and I got to be there for that fight tomorrow morning. And I will be there for that fight. My entire career, regardless of whether I had a position or I did not have it, because positions and titles come and go. This does not make us who we are. It's our character, what's inside of us. We have fought for the interests of New Jersey's middle class and the working poor families of all cities, including Paterson. My passion has been to be a voice for ordinary people, all of us, who too often are ignored and left behind by those who seek power. I was a high school history teacher, and I got into politics because I wanted to apply the democratic principles I was teaching in a classroom, as well as the values I inherited from my beautiful parents. I took on City Hall as the outsider and as the reformer. I'm proud to say that I've never lost sight, and I have faults like everyone else, but I have never lost sight of who I am, where I come from, and for whom I fight day in and day out for. Now more than ever, my brothers and sisters, we need to fight for the middle class and be the advocate. We know the super rich and the corporate interests have theirs. I represent the middle class, and I am proud of representing the middle class in the Congress of the United States of America. I want to get back to basics. We need to protect the middle class, which is disappearing from both ends of the spectrum. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and people are falling out of that middle class. We need to protect the middle class. While China and other countries are growing their own middle class, we need to get back to our competitive edge before America gets outsourced. We've outsourced enough jobs. We need jobs in America. That's what we need. You know me. You never saw me back off a fight in my life. I don't care what the odds are. I've come off the streets of this city. I'm proud of my city. I've lived here all of my life. And my bags are not packed. My opponent's bags are packed. So you cannot be afraid to stand up to the other side. And I have many friends on the Republican side. But the right wing of the Republican Party is ruining this country. That's right. Ruining it, day in and day out. We have a very different social agenda. They have a very radical social agenda. It's the folks like the congressman to the north, Mr. Scott Garrett, who want to privatize Medicare. Never, never, never can we privatize Medicare. Never. And they want seniors, our beloved senior citizens, to pay more than $6,000 more for their benefits. My answer to that is never, never, never can we allow that to happen. They want to privatize Social Security. Can you imagine if we had our money in Social Security invested in Wall Street over the last 8 years? Where will our social... There are many of our brothers and sisters within the Hispanic community that live on their Social Security check and have no more. And here's a gentleman right over here, my friend Julio, from Garfield.
This is Eugene.
Who is Julio?
And he lives on Social Security.
Thank you for bringing that up. We need to protect Georgie. Stand up, Georgie. Let's give him a great round of applause. They want to end guaranteed benefits. And they want to cut benefits for current retirees. They want to eliminate the federal government funding for education. If we don't have a strong education for our kids, we cannot go anyplace in the United States. This is what made us the greatest country in the world. Our schools, our education, our colleges, giving people the opportunity to be able to go to college. We need to be strong in education, which is the best medicine in a poor economy, educating our kids so that there'll be a job for them later on, educating them for jobs that will exist, instead of educating our kids for jobs that have disappeared. They want to eliminate that federal government. I'm a fighter against the Republican extremists, and that's what we need in Congress. The Republican-led House of Representatives favors those who inhabit the executive suites and the VIP rooms, America's wealthiest people. The Republican majority doesn't care about the middle class. They obviously do not care about the working poor. Now more than ever, we need a fighter in Washington who drives that point across. The single mom who runs the Hallmark card store in a strip mall in Clifton. The family who runs your favorite diner, whether it be in Fort Lee or in Clifton on Route 3, or the mechanic who owns the auto body shop in Cliffside Park. The president recently elevated the Small Business Administration to a cabinet position. That's a step in the right direction. Small businesses, and many of us own small businesses that are in these two rooms here tonight. We need to be thinking about it. This is the main source of job production in the United States of America. For too long, small businesses, the backbone of our economy, have had a tough time staying afloat. I am and I will continue to be the advocate for all small businesses wherever they exist. We should not. And please understand what I am saying here. This is the message. This is our message. For those who work hard every day, who play by the rules, who try to get ahead, try. We need to stop the exodus, the moving away of manufacturing jobs overseas. Let's start rewarding American companies who keep their workers right here in the USA. That's what we should do. And let those companies who send their jobs overseas when they grow, let them pay more taxes. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be giving tax breaks to companies who pay so little in taxes. Many of those companies pay no taxes. When that happens, the burden is on those of us here in this room.
That's right.
If this continues, then we will not be able to face those problems that exist in our society today. We are a nation of immigrants. My own grandparents came to this country from Italy a century ago as part of a great migration of peoples who have contributed to the rich ethnic diversity of the United States of America. The tradition of people coming to America continues to this day. That is why I support the American Dream Act to bring younger generations of immigrants and Latinos and other countries to the context of the diverse society. That we hold those children hostage because their parents may not have the proper documentation is wrong. It is wrong. We need to change that now, not tomorrow. Now. And it is a travesty that a young man can graduate from a public school in Pagoda, in Essex Fells, that's not in my district, to Edgewater, Paterson, Passaic, Clifton, doesn't matter, Elmwood Park, Garfield. It's a travesty. You graduate from the public schools, a child graduated a valedictorian. But then he's got to go back to Mexico within days of finishing high school. That makes no sense to me. Our nation has always had a place for the best, the brightest, the hardest working, no matter where they came from. Listen to this message. By the way, that happened right here in the Paterson school system. Kid graduated, and they threw him out of the country. Now, if that makes sense, I'll listen. It doesn't make sense. We are the better country if we try to get through these immigration hurdles and make sense, because the government has the right to know who is here and who is not here. We all agree on that, to protect the land. But on the other hand, this system existing now just doesn't work. And we need a better system so that we welcome the real hard workers to stay here. And those who have really undermined America, they'll have to leave. But we should not be the judge that they are all the same, because most of them believe as we believe in the American dream. So I support the Dream Act. I'm proud to be the co-sponsor, and I'm just going to say a few more words. Mr. Garrett, congressman from north of us in the 5th District, will continue to try to slash and burn budgeting tactics, which has occurred, we've seen in the past year, with no thought on the impact of the cuts on the middle class. That's why it is critical that Democrats win back the House of Representatives so we could put things in order. We could have been 1 seat closer to that majority. Hear me. Bring this back. We could have been 1 seat closer. Instead, does it make any sense that we are 1 seat further away from the majority? Because someone decided to challenge me in the primary in the district that was assigned to me and given to me. That does not make any sense to me. Does it make any sense to you?
No.
Does it make any sense to you?
No.
It's unfortunate that my opponent chose to cut and run from a fight with the extremist Republican instead of face them head on, as I will continue to do as your congressman. They don't know what's in for them, my friends. As a proud military veteran, I remember well what the acronym AWOL means. A-W-O-L. That is away without leave. One thing you can count on me. I've never run from a fight. I don't care what the odds are. You've never seen me do it when I was the mayor. You've never seen me do it when I was in the state legislature. And you never saw me do it when I was in the streets. Never. Because you fight for something. You don't take a back step. That doesn't mean you start fights. It means you finish them. You finish them. That's what we're all about. I think the new 9th District, the Passaic County towns, and the Bergen towns, and the 2 towns in Hudson County, I think the 9th District deserves a fighter. I think that the 9th District needs someone who will stand up against the extremes in Washington and in this nation. The Republicans and their continued assault on the middle-class taxpayers. And you know what I think about each and every one of you. Because I did not have to discover the Latino community.
That's right.
We played ball together. We fought together. We cried together. We laughed together. We cheered together. We marched together. Because we were one team regardless of where you come from in this country. This is America. There is no real lines between Passaic County and Bergen County. There are no lines. We're all Americans. What is this? This is mine. No one is entitled. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. To stand with me in this fight. And then on June 5th, we've done it before against the odds. You stood with me. Many in this room, when we said we had no chance. In '96, you remember that? When I was the mayor, the alcalde of this city. And I loved my job. And the party came to me, and the National Party came to me and said, you got the right to run against the incumbent. And I said, I like being mayor. You still got to do this. And I can tell you, they never offered me $1 million. And we won. All the odds against us. All the money against us. Because we are the people. We will decide. We will decide. And all of the parents who they want to represent them. God bless you and thank you very much.
gusto verte de nuevo, mi amor.
manera.
Esa bella, la vida es nuestra.
Así es.
Henry. Two.
Hi, sir. Hi, Congressman.
You know it's gotta be done.
Chet, where you at?
Hey man, I gotta get my coat. The contract's still in my coat.
Who got it?
I got my brother Demo for it.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.